Well, good morning, everybody. It is Friday, April 22nd, and welcome to Real Estate Talk, TGIF. This is episode 202. That's 202. We've been doing these for 199 weeks in a row. How's that sound, Van? Does that sound like consistency to you?
Hey, hello, Dave. Wow, that sounds awesome, man. You're doing it every day,
Yep, we got
every
to do
week.
it all the time, and that's the difference. I mean, when you decide to commit to something, you've got to show a lot of commitment. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to come back with Coach Vanda Martin, who I have been a fan of for years, and we'll be right back and get started.
Real estate agent, are you looking to acquire clients consistently so you can grow your business and your income to live a great lifestyle? This is Dave Finale and the RE Skill Builder podcast.
Hey, everybody, Dave Finale here, and Coach Vanda Martin here. Welcome, Vanda.
Hello, thank you. Happy Friday, Dave.
Happy
Very,
Friday. Happy
very
Friday.
excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me here to talk to your beautiful people.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to start this off with one simple question before we get into the meat of our conversation. It's Real Estate Talk TGIF. Can you tell me, Vanda, what does TGIF stand for?
Thank God it's Friday.
You're very close.
I decided to do my own style.
No, you're good. You're good. It actually means thank God it's finale. And that's, how it works. Yep. Right
I
on.
like
Right?
it. I like it. Thank God it's finale. I'm here with finale. Yay.
There you go. There you go. Right. So Vanda, you've been in the real estate business. You've been a $7 million producer. You've helped a lot of people, both in sellers, buyers, and agents. People, I am always very curious as to what your path was, because being in the business that I've been in, as being I've been a builder, developer, et cetera. I've been in home owned brokers for 21 years, and I see different paths for different people. Tell me about your path. How did you get from being that new agent and getting to where you are today as a master coach?
I can appreciate that. Great question. Yeah, people always wonder with that. First of all, I always loved real estate. Even when I was 18, 19 years old, going to school in the bus, and I was looking at homes, imagining one day I would be buying homes, selling homes, flipping. I always loved real estate. So I went officially full-time in real estate in 1999. In 1999, at the time, we were living at the Central Valley. I live in Los Angeles. I went to CLA. I live in San Francisco, live in Marin County. Now, at that time, my husband at the time, the father of my kids, got a job in the Central Valley in Stockton. And I moved there with a 10-month-old baby and realized I was pregnant again. So here I am in a new city and with two little babies and looking for being the best mom, the best wonderful mom that I could be. And I stayed as a full-time mom for a while. And then I opened in 1996, I opened an internet company and I just started doing business internet out of my home, out of my house. But, time went by and I thought, the kids now are 3.5, 4.5 years old. I always loved real estate. Let me get my license. So I got my license and took care of my other business. In 1999, I went full-time. Now, I didn't do bad comparing, with what's going on and many people and many real estate agents' life. Actually, I did good in numbers. My first year I sold 32 homes. My second year I sold 62 homes. But you know what I didn't have, Dave? I had no life. I was working 24/7,
Right.
and I remember going 3 months without a day off. Sounds familiar?
Wow. Yeah, it sure does. It sure does.
Yeah, and it was tough. And I realized, that I was hurting. I was having anxieties, feeling guilty for not being with my kids. And then I realized, I don't want to have money and be miserable.
Right.
Life is not about having money and being miserable. Life is about having, wealth and energy and love and life and everything, right? So I realized I needed a coach. Being a former basketball player, I know that a coach help you and guide you and help you to cut the learning curve and avoid mistakes. So finally I realized, oh my gosh, I need a coach. So 2001, Dave, I went searching for my coach. And I hired my first coach in 2001, and I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm selling out of charisma. I'm selling out of energy, enthusiasm. I have no skills in sales, like really real estate. I had some skills, but not in real estate specifically. Right. And then I realized I have no systems. I'm winging here. I'm just going, pushing.
So you sold 32 homes your first year, and no systems, no processes.
No, just doing the thing. Open houses, some door knocking, dropping flyers, talking to people, calling, cold calls. So I was doing 3 open houses per week, Dave. Saturday, 11 to 1, and then 2 to 4, and then Sunday, 12 to 2. So 3 open houses every week, talking to people, dropping flyers, and then I would drop flyers in my neighborhood. That's how I got my first listing, dropping flyers in my neighborhood where I established my farm. And also I would call expires. I would go door knock in the for sale by owner. I got that from a book. I read a book who said, do this, Dave. And I'm coachable. Yeah, I'm a basketball player. When someone say this works, go do it. You go do it. So I actually did really well, but I was killing myself. No time with my family, with my kids. And it was horrible. And I was going home crying at night, even though I had a great day, but I was like tears of exhaustion. So when I found my coach, he was a great coach, and everything I learned from him, Dave, I made it better. I tweak it, I improve it, and put systems in place, hire my assistant, and then bam, my business doubled.
Right.
So I went, and then I made my first $1 million. Then I made my first 1.3 million, 1.5 million. But here comes the beauty. I was having freedom, time with my family, quality time, Sunday off, Dave, Saturday by appointment, most listings. I decided I was going to become a listing machine. And that's what I did. I said, I love the buyers, but I don't want to just work 24/7 running around. I'm going to have control of my market. So I decided to become a top listing agent. And then I practiced the skill. I learned the skills. And with the help of my coach, the help of my group and my mastermind group, I grew fast. So I became #1 agent in the city. And I say this to inspire you guys. I don't mean to brag or anything, but I think it's inspiring because someone that comes from another country with no English, no money, she's new in a new town, in a new city. She's only there 3.5 years old and can become the top agent in the county. So it was great. During the trajectory, during the whole thing, I built a team, Dave. And my team became the #1 team in the county out of 12 cities. I became top 100 in California for Coldwell Banker. And in the process, coaching, leading my team, I fell in love with coaching. But of course, I have to say, I always love to teach. I'm a teacher at heart. I always love to help people, to do better. My sisters used to call me Saint Vanda, Dave, because I was always telling them, don't do this. This is the best way. Let's do this. So I have this in me. I love to teach. I love to coach. I love to train and guide and help, inspire. So I fell in love with coaching. So in 2010, I had an opportunity after a lot of up and downs in the market, as you know. And I kept telling myself, one day I'm going to be a full-time coach. One day I'm going to help people to transform so they don't have to go through the craziness that I went, the pain that I went, so they know what to do. So I started coaching. I coached for 2 big real estate companies. And then about 2.5 years ago, I decided that I wanted to have my own company. The last company that I was coaching, Dave, the waiting list to coach with me was over 2 years.
Wow. Even
a master level. So, and I wanted to do a Facebook page. I wanted to do courses. I couldn't do it. So I said, it's time for me to find my own music. It's time for me to help more people. So today's wonderful. So today I coach about 21 people one-on-one, and we coach about 150 people in group. We have courses. It's wonderful. And we're transforming people, making millionaires, helping people helping people to get the life that they want. You know what I mean? So I got excited about this. Thank you for asking. It's a great journey. Can you tell I enjoyed it?
I mean, you know what? You and I, as I said in the intro, that I've known you for a while because I've seen you on social, and that is a testimony to your great work on social. And we can get into this in a few minutes, but I want everybody to know something that I felt like I knew you
Oh,
because of your presence on Instagram and what you do here on Facebook. And it's just what you do because you're out there doing the work every day. You're consistent. You're putting the post out there. It's like honestly, it reminds me a little bit of myself because when you've got a thought, you're doing that walking video, which is so powerful, right? It's so powerful. Anyway,
Thank you.
so I want to get, I want to hit on a couple of things through your career and how you shot up. So you started, you had no systems, and you decided that you were going to become a listing machine. Okay, how did you do that? What were the steps that you took to become a listing machine that you became?
Oh, love the question. And it's such a great question because it really shows what the first steps to do, right? You see, I believe that the best way to learn is by emulating and modeling someone who has done. You see, there's no reason to invent the wheel. So if I want to learn something, I get a coach or I get a mentor and I'm going to learn. So right away, I knew I had to put a plan together. You see, Dave, one of the things that's so fabulous in most people when they go in sales, if they have, is called coachability.
Yep.
And because that's really not a magic. If you want to be a top listing agent, you got to do what the top listing agents do. And they master the listing presentation, they understand, and they really learn and kill it on the objection handlers of the listing presentation, like pricing, commission. So I told myself, okay, Vanda, you got to up level your skills. First of all, what skills do I need to become a top listing agent? Actually, the listing machine. Dave, and I say this because I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I was converting 98% of my listings.
You should be proud of it.
Yeah, so I'm happy, I work really hard for that. And I recorded my listing. Let me tell you a funny story. My coach said, Vanda, you got to practice your listing presentation 3 times a week. And I want you to record your listing presentation. I said, okay. So I did a mock presentation. I almost died. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was funny because my coach said, maybe you want to get a glass of wine before, right, when you're going to watch your listing presentation because it's going to be painful. Yeah. So I got to watch my first listing presentation. Mock listing presentation was horrible, but I kept practicing. I cut in pieces and I kept practicing. And one day I said, I really need to do the real thing. So what I did? Remember those record players, those old record players? I'm Asian myself here. I went to the listing presentation, Dave, and I told the seller, I said, Mrs. Seller, I want to ask you a favor. You see, I have a wonderful business coach who's always helped me to grow. And I'm always looking for better ways to get myself more prepared, more skilled. So I have here a recording machine. Do you mind if I record our listing presentation so I can improve myself? They said, no, Vanda, that's cool. Oh, you have a business coach? I said, yes, I do. And I would just want to record our presentation. I recorded live. Of course, I got the listing. I got the listing. So my point is, number one, if you want to become a top listing agent, number one, learn the skills. Do you know how to mirror match? Do you know how to build trust? Are you really great on presentation? Do you pre-qualify before you go there so you are very prepared? And then, of course, you got to know the skills of pricing, how to present the CMA, how to handle objections on pricing, how to handle objections on commission. And the beautiful one is, how do you close? Dave, did you know that 87% the people that go in real estate, they don't have sales skills, and most of them don't know how to close?
Yep, I do. I've got to ask you something that you've gone through a really great list of things that you need to do. Know the listing presentation, know objection handling, know the pricing, know the commission handling, all that stuff, and build trust. But one of the things you said, which I think is it's actually a skill. Okay, it's a skill that most people do not have, and most of the agents that I work with don't know what this is. You said pre-qualify, right? So
Yes.
the way I look at, talk to me about pre-qualification of the appointment, pre-qualification of the seller. Talk to me about that process.
Oh, I love that. What I know is many, many times the agents don't pre-qualify, first of all, because they don't know the benefit of it.
Right.
Second, they don't know how. And many times too, unfortunately, they're afraid if they ask a lot of questions, they're going to realize they don't really have a lead. And they,
Right.
But I believe it's most of the time is they don't know how. So the most important thing is to really know how to pre-qualify. I used to be that person, Dave. I used to be that person when I talk to a seller and they say, no, we're thinking about selling our home. I would go, okay, I'm coming, set an appointment. And I would go there. I didn't know anything about these people, what they wanted, what it was the motivation, what it was the timing, what price they had in mind, did I have competition, what is important for them, how much they own the house, what list, I didn't know anything. I didn't know the personality style. I didn't know the questions they might have for me. And then when I told my coach that I used just to go to the listing presentation, he goes, oh my God, Vanda, you got to pre-qualify. It's a professional thing to do. You get yourself prepared. You see, when you pre-qualify, Dave, everything else is easier because now you're going to know everything. Right. I give an example. Like my question 8 on my pre-qualification question, that's very powerful. My question 8 is describe your home for me. People are going to describe their home for you. Now you're going to know their personality style. So now you're not only going to know how they think, how they speak, but even more importantly, how they make decisions. Do you think that's important before you arrive there, how the people think and make decisions?
100%. When you ask this question, but describe your house for me, it's so funny. But we were talking about this last night. I do a weekly call. I do a daily call every night. And one of the questions we asked some of our attendees to this call was describe your house for me. And the first person said, well, I've got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, yada, yada, going on and on. Next person says, well, it's a condo development, really close to shopping, and went on, never said anything about the unit. So those are 2 completely different personalities right there, as they didn't tell you anything about the house or the condo itself, except the area, right? So, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's an important thing. So you see what the mind is going, but also by the speed of the voice, by the amount of words. For example, we know analytical speak with a lot of details and they have a monotone voice and they go for a long time. The drivers are very short, to the point, the bottom line. The expressive, they're going to be very excitable, talking about the home, and the amiable are going to be softer, calmer, more feelings. So when you know that, it's so much better. I'll give you another one, Dave. Question number 9, I believe, is, Mr. Seller, do you have any question before I arrive? Do you have any question for me before I arrive? My gosh, that's when they're going to say, would you cut your commission? Or how much is your commission? So then you prepare for that. I'm telling you, pre-qualify. Once I learned that from my coach, once I start pre-qualifying everybody, sellers and buyers, I realized I can help people if I don't know the problem. You can't give a medication if you don't know the pain.
Oh, wow. That's such a great analogy. Think about this, right? So you get the appointment. Some people will pre-qualify in a second call, but they'll pre-qualify right there on that call, right? So the thing about this is that you actually know what the objections are going to be before you get there.
You know everything.
And you're going to be, your presentation will be magical because it's like they're not going to realize what they told you. And you're going to know exactly what to address in your presentation, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know. So my 9 questions are to the point. I know everything. And when I get there, I do a quick recap before I go to my marketing presentation. So to answer your question is, you got to know the skills and then you put the structure together and then you systematize. Every time you have a listing, you do the same way. So you're now winging it. Can you imagine you are a doctor and you do knee surgery, and every time you have a patient, you do a different way. You start in a different way. You're going to kill a lot of patients, right? They have a procedure. They have a standard operating procedure. This is how I do it. So I tell my clients, listen, you got to have a CAM presentation, but you adjust and adapt to the personality style, to their own thing. And of course, you bring your energy. But I'm telling you, I don't wing anything, David. Everything I do is scripted. Everything I do is a system. Everything I do is strategic.
So do you think so let's talk about becoming a listing machine. What did you do? Was it cold calling? Was it internet leads? Was it Zillow? Talk to me about what you did in order to become that listing machine. What was the process? What was the lead gen for you?
I love that. I love that. First of all, I was doing some lead gens, but you attract what you think about. You do manifest, and everything was doing in the beginning was towards buyers, because for me it was easier. And again, it's a different set of skills. Learning to work with buyers is much easier than learning to work with sellers. But the sellers, once you get down, you know the skills, you know the structure, you have a fantastic listing presentation, a killer listing presentation, a killer digital marketing presentation, and you have the confidence and the strength, it's so much easier, because you just list and sell homes so much easier. The buyers in the beginning, for anyone who is new here, it's easy in the beginning because you just talk to people and you ask some questions, and if you build enough rapport and trust, if they want to buy, they'll go with you. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I was having listing presentation, but I was not focused on listing. So once I made the decision, at the time I was already selling, 85 homes, and I was doing still a lot of buyers. And I said, you know what? It was the same time that I built my team. I got 2 buyers agents and I had my staff in place. I'm going to give most of my buyers to my team. I'm only going to keep 4 hot buyers, because I can't have more than 4 hot buyers and go after listings. Then I kept only 4 hot buyers. I gave the rest of the buyers to my team. And then I put together my plan. Here is my database CIM. I'm going to be the queen of my database, Dave. And I'm going to talk to them. And I have a system that made me millions. I put the system in place to create that relationship, that connection. I gave them a lot of love, and then they started coming business to me. So I kept doing the things, but really focus on listing and asking the questions that brought the listings to me. So I was working on my database, my farm, open house. I was also working networking. Oh my God, Dave, network is wonderful. I was in the Rotary Club. I was in the Women Network business. I was getting, just from the gym, I sold at least 4 or 5 homes per year. And when you start showing up as a listing agent, you start having sign and you speak with so much confidence, because now you got the set of skills of buyers. Now you got the high set of skill for listings. People can feel, people can smell your confidence. Does it make sense?
100%. Martha comes up, the objections never change, right? Every time we show up, we're selling a house, so the objections never change. Here's the thing.
Hi, Martha. You're so right, Martha. Once you know it, the 10 top objections, you are
killing it. And here's the thing. We've gotten the same objections for 40, 50 years. It's the same objection. It's never changed. The only thing that's really changed is the technology piece of everything we do. And it's kind of made us a little bit easier. Things a little bit easier.
Oh, it's so much easier.
To get known, right?
So, it's so much easier. Well, you got internet, you got social media, Facebook ads. Oh my gosh, one of my clients, she's relatively new. She put a Facebook ads that we helped her to do it. She got 68 leads. And then you up your skills. You know how to do your conversion, and you know how to work with online leads. You kill it. I have a client right now that he's selling about 2 homes a month just from online leads, Dave. Just from Zillow. He's top 1% of Zillow in the country. Just from online leads, he's pushing 2 a month. He's selling 3, 4, but just from online leads. Once you have the skills rules, baby.
That's absolutely correct. So here's one of the thought processes that I use with agents that want to, I'm going to use the phrase buy leads, right? It's not a matter to them. They say, Dave, what do you think about Zillow? Or what do you think about set schedule? What do you think about bold leads? All these different kinds? There's so many of them out there. What do you think about them? My answer is the same. My answer is the same. It's this. If you're going to do that, fine. It is not your base of business as you get started. Your base of business needs to be from this and from all the people you know in your networking. But if you want to do that, great. And here's the key. The key is you need to take that one deal that you got, that first deal, and turn it into other deals by how you build your business, how you do your business, and what systems you've got in place to make sure that these people are actually helping you grow your business. That makes sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense. And I know what you're saying. And the reason, you see, you got to have diversification. The key to stabilization is diversification. So you don't want to have only one lead source. You see what happened in COVID, Dave? I had people come to me. All they did was door knock and open house. And all of a sudden they had no business because of COVID. You see, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. Now, after saying that, having said that, your database is your number one and the best. You know, I'm telling you, I had 75% of my business coming to me, 2-3 come listing per week. Who would like to have that? Who would you like to have 2-3 come listing per week from my database and my farm? But I network them. I had a system for them. So what they come, they don't know the difference, Dave. See, first is lead sources, source for leads. You got your database CIM, one, and then you got your farm, then you got open house, then you got social media, then you got online leads, then you got networking, and then you got business to business, agent to agents, expires, for sale by owners, and then there's tons of lead sources. So find your core lead sources, always your database, because that's your business. That's what you sell when you exit the business. You sell the database, you don't sell yourself, you sell the database, your tools and your stuff. So here's your lead sources. Now you have actions on the lead sources, your systems that will create the business so you can have the listings and the buyers. So if you want to do online leads are Zillow, Trulia, right? Walupo, Bold Leads. But if you don't have the skills, don't even buy it because you're going to fail. It's all about skills. Conversion comes from skills. Isn't it true, Dave?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a client who just from Walupo, he sells 23 homes per month. Just from Walupo. He's doing like 75 homes. So my point is, and then I have people say, it doesn't work. Coach Vanda, it doesn't work. No, it works, darling. You just don't have the high skills yet.
Right.
You just don't have the script, the knowledge, right? I get excited about this, Dave.
Yeah, no, it's great because one of the things you just did is you went through the base pillars of business, right? And you went through it, and you didn't go through in this order. My order is simple: sphere of influence, FISBOs, expires, withdrawals, social media, open houses, circle prospecting. You said networking. You said a few others.
Oh, that's many.
These are your base pillars of business that the best agents are doing consistently. And guess what? Most of them start with this. I'm thinking it's a phone.
Oh, yeah, calling your database. So that's an action, right? They confuse marketing with systems. Marketing is an action that you do to generate business. Calling is an action that you do to generate business. But you got to have, here's my 7 lead sources. Some people have 3, I remember one of the person that I coach, he had only 400 people in his database, only 400. And he was doing 65 transactions. Oh, I have a client right now, Amy Jo. She's in Florida. Her and her father did 80 transactions last year. 80. 77 came from the database. 77. 3 from other agents. So again, you can have as many lead sources that you want, but I recommend, if you want to hear Coach V suggestion, have 5 to 7, systematize, make sure you use the systems that we teach, or maybe you already have a great system, and then you do it. This is what I'm going to do for my database. Bam, 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 bam. This is what I do for my farm. Bam, 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 bam. This is what I do for my online leads. Bam, bam, bam. Social media. And everything works if you work well. If you have the skills, the structure, and the consistency, and you're right in the money when you started here. Consistency is the glue for everything you do. If you do it once in a while, it's not going to work.
So with most of the agents, we got a lot of new agents. We've got a lot of agents that are stuck, and there's the agents that are coming to you and me are what we both call coachable, and they're willing to listen. And the thing is that there's so many more agents out there that could use our help or could use a coach's help, and they're stuck. They're new. So if you had to give one bit of advice to a new agent, let's talk new agents first, then we'll get to stuck, okay? A new agent, the one bit of prospecting they should do first. I know what your answer is going to be, just listening to you. Go ahead.
Well, it can be 2 things I'll do right away. I'll work on your database and open house.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Look, I coach a team in Seattle. Okay. Beautiful. Say hello to Maynard Wagner. Maynard has 4 agents in his team. I coach the whole team, people from the very beginning. Like Michael Dapper, brand new last year, brand new. He came to us. He sold 12 homes last year. This year, he already sold over 12 in 3 months, 3.5 months, over 12. There's a new girl who came, and what they're doing, they are talking to the database, they're engaging on social media, and they're doing open houses as well. Zay, brand new, not even 3 months. 2 weeks ago, she set 4 appointments, last week, 4 appointments one day, Dave, 4 appointments in one day, and then she got a listing and just to put in contract. She's 3 months in the business, setting 4 appointments one day. We're teaching her the script, we're teaching. So what is she's doing? She's go back to the CIM, all the people. She's not calling the team leaders, that's why she's not calling that. He takes care of that. But there's a lot of leads sitting on the CIM, a lot of leads. So I coach them. I said, guys and girls, because I coach the whole team on Zoom. I said, go talk to those people. I gave them the script. Go talk to those people. Go re-engage these people. They're sitting here. Nobody's touching. Those are diamonds. Diamonds. My gosh, Dave, she said 4 appointments in one day. She already listed the home. She already sold the home. She's less than 3 months.
So will you share that script with us?
Sure. Show the script. And you want to role play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. And so she's calling people on the database, right? On the CIM. By the way, let me clear this up. I call database your past client, your sphere of influence, your vendors. Your database goes into a CIM. So for example, you might have 3,000 people in your CIM, Follow Up Boss, Boomtown, right? Lion Desk. You might have 4,000 people in the CIM, but your database, past client, SOI, and vendors might be just 800. Make sense?
Yep. 100%.
So she's calling all the CIM. So it goes like this. So I'm going to call you. Okay. You are no lead. Nobody's been touching you. You sit in a CIM. We don't know who you are. Sounds good?
Yep. That's good.
I know your name because you are on my CIM. Makes sense?
Right.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Is this Dave?
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. My name is Vanda Martin with Coldwell Banker. Dave, the reason I'm calling is not long ago, we talked about real estate. I just saw your name here on my computer and I was thinking, listen, Dave, by any chance, are you in the market to buy, sell, or invest right now in real estate?
I from now and time and again, I do look at it, but not really right now.
Not really right now? I can appreciate that. Thank you for your time. Let me ask you this. Are you living in your home? Do you own your home or are you renting?
I own my home.
You own your home. Excellent. Excellent. Let me ask you this, because you probably know the market is so hot. Dave, I don't know if you know that. Yeah. There's never been a market like this for seller. This is the best real estate market in 50 years. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
You heard that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to ask because I have so many people looking. I got to ask this because that's what I do with my job and I love it. Hey, Dave, if the price were really good, if I had a fantastic offer for you, would you consider selling?
But I love my home, but here's the thing. Where am I going to go? I heard that, there's just, houses are selling like crazy and there's not a lot out there. Where am I going to go, Vanda?
I hear you. Such a great question. Where would you go? So let me ask you this. Where would you like to go? If you didn't have any other objection, if you could move to a place that you like and enjoy, where would you go?
I'll probably get closer to the beach.
Close to the beach? Oh, fantastic. I love the beach. So where would that be? Which beach would you talk about?
For me, it would be South Florida.
South Florida. So I understand. Now, if it made sense for you, if you could move to Florida today rather than later, would you do it?
Sure. Yeah, I would.
Great. Dave, listen, there's no pressure, no obligation. I love what I do. If it makes sense to do it now or later, I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. Let's do this. Why don't we sit down, go over your plans, what you want, what you need, and I run the numbers, and you're going to know what's going on. Listen, if you don't do anything, that's okay. I don't mind. And guess what? You'd be so much more informed about what's going on here and in the place you like to go. Wouldn't that be nice? So do you have your phone there with you? Of course, right? Would be a good time? We can meet on Starbucks. or I can come over, talk about business, talk about the market, or we can do a Zoom. First of all, what would be better for you? Do you want me to come over to your house, or should we do a Starbucks?
A Zoom would be better.
Zoom would be better? Okay, great. So I have open tomorrow at 3 o'clock, or 6 o'clock better for you?
3 o'clock be fine.
3 o'clock, excellent, excellent. So listen, I just want to confirm also your email, because I would like to ask you this. Just take 3 minutes and take a look at the email I'm going to send to you. I'm going to send just a little bit of my bio so you know who I am, so you can put the name with the face, or the face with the name. And also just a quick link of some of the great people that I help. It's always important to know who you're talking to. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have a time. So what's your email again?
dfinale@gmail.com.
Fantastic. So I have that. I'm going to send you an email, and we're going to talk on Zoom on the email too. I'll send you the link, and we're going to have a great conversation. No pressure, no obligation. I'll do the CMA. You're going to know the numbers, and we'll see if we can get you to the place that you want. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much. I look forward to it. Be fun.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So how long did that take? 3 minutes?
Yeah. Took about 3 minutes. Right.
So
So
how was it? How did you feel? How do you like the script?
the script is great. It's the great part about the script is that it was not intrusive. It was informational, and it was, you know what? You don't want to talk to me, you don't have to talk to me.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Open, just, and see how many questions I ask. And you can also say, hey, let me ask you. Oh, I don't know if I want to say. And you can smile and say, let me ask you, Dave, at what price did you become a seller? At what price did you become a seller? See, I love this. For me, selling is an art. Selling is a science. And we know when you know how to talk and internalize everything and you have fun with it, I love it. I could do this all day.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I mean, we've got some great interaction here going on. It's like, great things for people to say, here's a script right in of itself. It's fantastic from Celestine. So, all right. So we've talked about skills. We've talked about how to build your business. You've given the script to everybody. You've given everybody the magic, right? Gave it away. So I'm a new agent, or I'm a stuck agent. And you know what? I don't know. I just, as a stuck agent, I don't know what to do next. I've been doing 12 to 15 deals every year for 2 years, 3 years. How do I break that seal? How do I get to the next level, Vanda?
Wonderful. You can't scale up without system. So if you are stuck, if you are in a rut, or you stop growing because you doing the same thing over and over, or maybe your energy is low because you are completely emotionally at capacity. So you're going to stop and say, okay, I've been in the same place for a long time. What do I need to do? So look at your skills, because what got you here won't get you there. So if you're doing 15 and you're going to go to 30, you got to up level your skills.
Right.
Look at your lead sources. How many do you have? Oh, I have 5 lead sources. Are they systematized? Do you have help? Because sometimes people get their capacity physically and mentally. Listen, do not delay. The first hire is your TC. Don't do any real estate without transaction coordinator. You are too valuable to push paper. Have a transaction coordinator, have an assistant. You can go to Upwork and get a assistant virtual for $7 an hour, for Pete's sake. So
Right.
I would say skills, structure, and systems. The 3 Pablo asked. The skills, structure, and system. Have the skills to be a fantastic buyer's agent. Have the skills to be a different set of skills. Right, Martha? Right, all of you guys here hanging out here with us. Different set of skills. Some of you guys are kicking ass with buyers. It's time to learn the listing and the selling skills so you can control your market. And then structure. Do you have a morning routine? Is your energy high? Do you have who's helping you with the paperwork so you can go out fish? This is how I say, Dave. If you're gonna go fishing, okay, you go get the fish, you bring the fish to the office. Someone's gonna clean the fish, gut the fish, spice the fish, bake the fish. You back fishing. You cannot go fishing, bring the fish, and you do everything yourself. You won't be able to go get more fish or hunt, right? So I'm telling you, skills, structure, systems. You got to delegate, you got to learn. Otherwise, if you're doing that $15 an hour job, how are you going to grow? I love this stuff. And it hurts me, Dave. People, they come and they don't know what to do, and they're suffering out there. They're grinding. So go do your open house, five open house per month, minimum. Go learn how to get business open house. I actually had a dream. Excuse me, was like a meditation and aha. I realized people don't know what to do because they don't know how to do it. They don't have the skills. And I put a course in place called the Conversion Code, where I teach them how to do the two important things: have conversations, set appointment. If you are new in the business and you're not having conversations, setting appointments every day, you're not in real estate.
You're right. You're right.
You agree? I got passionate about that.
So all right. So you talked a little bit about, you said quickly, a morning routine, a morning structure, right? One of the things that I believe in is that, you have some way, somehow, whether you think you do or not, you have a ritual in the morning. And I don't mean you get up and brush your teeth and have coffee, right? I mean, you get up, you write something, you read something, you have gratitude, whatever it is. Is that important to mindset
everything
business?
Everything. Your morning routine, win the morning, win the day. Your morning set the rhythm, set the stage, set the everything. I always show them like this. Look, if you are deflated, de-energized, and frustrated and out of focus, you're not going to be good for anybody. So yeah, the morning routine is everything. I have people that come to me 30 years in the business doing already $1 million. They don't want to go to 2 million, 3 million. Like I coach people doing $3 million, earning $350,000 per month. Nice, right? $350,000 per month.
Right.
We work consistently on the mindset, on the structure, systems and routine and the staff and leadership and all. But if you don't have a routine, you lost. I tell you, show me your routines and ritual, and I tell you where you're going and how fast you go. I have a routine every morning. I do it. I walk. I do my gratitude journal. I chant my affirmation right here in my patio in front of the ocean. I sit down here in my office. I write down my goals, some of my affirmation, and then I do my meditation. And then I don't role play anymore. But when I was selling real estate, I role play in the beginning 7 times per week, 20 minutes, and then 5 times. And then when I became excellent, 3 times a week. Because what you don't use, you lose, right, Dave?
That's
what
right.
You don't use, you lose. So role play. Today I role play with my clients, and I have one mastery role play time every Thursday. So I'm always sharp. It's just like basketball. If you don't practice, you lose or you get rusty, and you can't practice on your clients, for Pete's sake.
Well, no, and that's what a lot of people do. I talk about that big P word, practice. It is so important. People don't understand, that they think they're going to go out. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do this. I'll just go through my presentation and read it as I go. No. Let's talk about all the mistakes you're making and all the times you're missing because you suck at what you do.
Oh my God, right?
Right. So, I mean, if you don't want to suck, you want to unsuck, you need to practice. I mean, look at the greatest of stars. I mean, when you played basketball, the only way you got better, the only way you got good at what you did was practice.
Yeah.
Right.
Dave, I'm 5'3". I started playing basketball, and the school saw that I could run fast and I could jump, and throw the ball even better. And they offered me a scholarship. My family was very poor. I came from nothing, and I got the scholarship, and I realized, oh my gosh, if I want to stay here in the school, best school in town, and keep my scholarship, I gotta be damn good. I gotta be F good. And I used to practice every day. My conversion ratio to the basket was 87%. 85, yeah. And I converted. I was doing it, everything. And but real estate, the same thing. So now I want to go back here because I want to make sure I leave this very clear. If you are new in the business, reset your priorities, reset your goals. Okay, I'm going to sell 24 homes this year. That means 2 a month. And here is the 4 lead sources that I need to have. Okay, my database, my farm, open house, door knock, of course, social media. You got to do everybody. If you're not doing social media, you're out of your mind. Social media, electing president is free. Most of them, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is free. I'm not talking about online leads. I'm talking about social media. So again, have your goals. How many homes you're going to sell, your units, your GCI, your volume. units, GCI volume. Then here's my 4 or 5 lead sources. Okay, then put the systems in place. Find someone like me that can give you the systems, because you don't have to invent the wheel, and I'll give you all the systems. 5 things you do for your database, 5 things you do for your farm, what you do for open house. Everything is lined up. It's no winging. And then put yourself in a group, in a community that will support you. Like you have your group, I have my group. We have a community, right, Lily? Oh, thank you, Lily. She said the best, coach. I love it. Because you see, there's no growth in isolation. There's no growth in isolation. And your community will build you up or destroy you. When you have a community that hold you accountable, that push you, and if you can, I'll say it because it's true, get yourself a mentor, a coach. Because you see, I would never play a tournament, basketball or tennis or anything without a coach. Am I crazy? I need someone to show me, hey, don't do this way, do this way. Hey, I know this one doesn't work really well here. You want to do that. A coach will tell you what to do next. People say, well, I can learn from whatever. No, even a course. If you could learn for a course or YouTube, everybody will be rich. You need accountability. You need to report. Right. So this is what I'll do. Have your goals and go action, baby. Action every day. Do the thing that moves the needle. Every day, action moves the needle.
Right. And I tell people that you have 3 choices. Number 1 is you can do what you're doing now. That's kind of called insanity. Like Einstein said, do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's called insanity. The second thing that you can do is you can watch this broadcast, this podcast, and try to get something out of it. Now, there's been gems. There's been gold nuggets here. You've got a script. You've got a process. You've got so much stuff here. This was like real estate before 101. Right? you can watch these stuff. And I'm going to admit, over the years, I would call myself a webinar junkie. And you can be a podcast junkie. And podcasts are great. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But you know what? If you don't implement stuff, it's like the guy that goes to a seminar, the guy that goes to conventions, and they say, if I could just get one thing out of this, it'll be worth the money. No, you fool. If I could implement one thing out of this, then it would be worth the money.
Yes.
That makes sense, right? And
so true.
Lastly, your third choice is simple, is to take action steps from what you got from today, or call Vanda Martin to get your skills together. That's one of the things that you can do, right? Or you can call me. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, we are both coaches. We're both here to help and serve. We are here. We love what we do, don't we, Dave?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I do this thing, right? Because I want to help as many people as I possibly can. You and I both want to create millionaires, right? And this business, you know, owning my brokers, Vanda, the thing I learned was that it's really not that difficult to do 12 to 24 deals a year. You know, and 24, you were a superstar. Yeah. I'm working with people doing 50, 60, 100 deals a year.
Dave, my best week, I sold 12 homes.
Dig that, right? Think about
it. I used to sell. By the time I became a coach, I was selling, and I moved to the Silicon Valley, and I sold the high-end homes, $2, $3, $4 million. But at one point, I was selling a home every other day. So there's no magic. With broken English, new in town, right? It now is so much easier because now you have social media. Oh my God, you have so many things. My point, like you said, if you have a goal, and then you put a plan together and you put the actions that you need to do that, and you keep learning the skill and having people, you're going to win. There's no reason. Massive breakthrough comes from you have a mindset shift, believe that it's possible, and you go do it. But people, they go in their head. Oh no, I don't have that. I don't have the money. It's not about not having the money or the time, the energy. It's being resourceful. I had no money when I started real estate. Everything was sweat equity, but you got to up the skills.
Yeah, and I want to talk about, you know, the lead sources we talked about. Every lead source we talked about, guys, was free.
Yeah,
it was free. Now, we're not talking about buying leads from Zillow and that, or Facebook ads, but everything we talked about was free. FSBO, expireds, your sphere of influence, your vendors, your open houses, this stuff. Now, you can do a lot of good things with social media to promote your open houses. You don't necessarily have to spend money.
I got a lot of business as a coach for social media. I have a client, Melanie in Boston. She came to me 22 years old, brand new. And I have her to connect to people in group and meet people in group and DM people. In 2020, she sold, I believe, 4 homes from DMing people on Facebook. So again, we call organic outreach. Organic outreach. You can do paid attraction. I love paid attraction. My company, we do a lot of Facebook ads. My company sets me sometimes 4 or 5 appointments in a day for Facebook ads. But if you don't know the skills, you can have 20 leads today, Dave. But if you don't know the skills, you lose them all. You don't do follow-up. You don't have speed to the lead. You don't have the skills. You don't know how to build rapport. Again, it's not the lead source. It's us. Do you have the skills? Do you have the systems to follow up? Do you know how to do it? Once you know it, you crush it.
So
does it make sense?
Oh, it's 100%. I mean, look, a lot of people can do 12 deals a year by accident, right? And it's possible. I swear to God, it's possible.
Yeah.
I've seen
You have energy, joy.
Yeah, you know, but if you've got the skills and you've got ritual and you've got structure, I want to talk about structure for a minute, okay? Because we're coming up against time, but I want to hit this one point.
I don't see here the people. I think they're showing up here, but I imagine everybody's enjoying this, right?
No, they absolutely are. We've got great interaction. It's excellent. It's excellent. So
Wonderful.
I want to just talk a little bit about structure and managing yourself, okay? Because I think this is where a lot of people don't get that there's a structure. I try to always talk about, you know, if you got a 9-to-5 job, you go there, you're supposed to start at 9, by the way. You don't get there at 9, just a pet peeve of mine.
It's true.
After 5, you clean up and then you go. But anyway, you have certain things to do during the day and you have your lunch break and whatever, and you do that. And at 3 o'clock, if you're done with what you had to do for the day, you don't go home. You just keep working. So when I talk about structure, first I'm going to ask you a question and a follow-up. Is it important for you to know what you're going to do Wednesday morning at 11:30 next week?
Oh my God. It's everything. Everything. You know, and I'll say this to you, structure will set you free. If you are living in overwhelm, in stress, frustrated, it's because you don't have a structure. Or you have a structure, a schedule you don't follow through. Because if you schedule, say, here's when I work, here's when I play, here's when I rest, and here's when I don't do anything, just fun time, you know what to do, right? You're right. If you had a regular job, you had to do it. If you own a coffee shop, it's 6 o'clock a.m., you open the damn shop. You're not going to open 6:30. People are going to be in the door, and they're going to show up in the door for a couple of times, and they're never going to show up again, and you go out of business. Isn't it true, Dave?
100%.
Yeah. So you see, for me as an athlete, I also was a personal trainer. When I went to CLA here in Los Angeles, I became also a personal trainer. So I've been in sports and fitness all my life, and I know that it's an easy way to do business. And when you have a structure, that's how we make the cake. You know, when you have the recipe for the cake, you can make the cake in the winter, in the summer, in the spring, in the fall. The cake come out well. If you make the cake in my house, in your house, in Florida, or Miami, or California, the cake comes well because you follow the structure. Structure sets you free. But the people go so reactive, and then they don't understand, oh my God, I don't have time for everything. Because they're looking at the phone 800,000 times on the phone. Put your phone away. Decide, this is my morning routine. Create your bubble focus. So I tell my team, I don't care what you do in the afternoon. Hopefully you are showing homes, going listening presentation, negotiating. I don't care so much what you do in the afternoon. But from 5:30 or 5 o'clock to 10:30, you build yourself. You do your morning routine, you walk, gratitude list, meditation, you role play, and then at 8:30, you set appointment, you have a conversation, set appointment. If you take care of your morning until 10:30, you're never going to have a money problem. You're always going to have a pipeline full of business, and you're never going to be stressed out because money is always flowing. Abundance is always in your life because you took care of you, your future, and your destiny, and your family first. Structure is everything. Structure systems is everything.
Mic drop. That's you're absolutely correct. And the thing you also need, everyone also needs to understand too, Vanda, is
Thank you. I got excited about this.
Oh, that's just amazing. I mean,
thank you.
People need to understand also that it's you got to do it. You've got to be consistent because it builds the big momentum. Momentum is something that happens when you do something every day. When you know what you're doing between 5:30 and 10:30, beautiful, because that's kind of like my schedule, right? I'm starting every day at 5:30. I know what I'm doing between 5:30 and 6 and 6:30, etc. I know what I'm doing, right?
Excellent.
I know how long my workout's going to take me. If I decide to run outside or to run inside, if I
Good
decide
for you, Dave. I'm so proud of you. Excellent.
I know what I'm going to do. I know how long it's going to take me. You know what? If I by chance sleep late, which doesn't happen, I know what I have to do to make sure I don't lose time that I already lost. The reason I know that, Vanda, is simple, because I've got momentum. I know what I've done. I know how to fix it.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Mr. Mo. I call Mr. Mo. Mr. Mo is everything. If you keep Mr. Mo in the house, you always have fun, job, business, money. I just want to say this very quickly. I know we got to finish here. The thing is, people know what to do, but they don't do it because they don't have accountability partners. They don't have a group support, community. So if really weak in discipline, really weak in following the discipline, bring the rails, help people, have people helping you, holding you accountable, have accountability group, have accountability partners, have a coach holding you, have someone, because otherwise you got to build the muscle. Sometimes it takes 3 months. Take 3 months to build the muscle for anything, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, and I want to add to that if I can. The thing that we have to look at is a lot of times the people close to us do not know how to support us, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what to support us. Look, we live in a world that, especially on the East Coast, it's called being cynical. Everybody is, right? They don't trust. They don't listen. Oh, yeah, you're going to do that. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. But as you just said, it takes time to help everyone understand, especially our friends and family, to learn how to support us. What's going to get you there is your consistency in working. Look, here's the thing. Nobody ever accomplished anything without making a decision.
Oh, true. It starts with a decision.
Accomplishment comes from a decision. Make the decision that this is what you want to do, and then you move forward. You can only win. Now, okay, so hey, I get the same way you do. So I want to thank you, Vanda. Thank you so much for being on. I got a couple of more questions, and the first question is, how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to reach you? We've got a couple of things up on the screen.
Yeah, my Instagram, Vanda F. Martin, right? My handle is my Facebook, Vanda Ferreira Martin. You got my number running right here, 650-924-8333. Text me anytime. I love what I do. There's never selling pressure. You need something, you have a question. I love talking to people, helping. I'm doing this for love. I'm paying forward. Dave, I'm very grateful. I live now my dream. I live here in beautiful place in San Diego with ocean view, the way I dreamed. I came to this country, nothing. And today I do what I love, the people that I love. So you never bother me. Just say hello. I'm here to help and talk, and I love it. Thank you so much, Dave. It's been a pleasure. All of you guys who show up here, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for inviting me. I love this stuff. So it's been a very much fun.
So there's two more things really quickly, but this is really a very sincere question and an important question. How can I help you grow your business?
Oh, thank you. Well, no, you're doing a great job here. Help me to talk about the business and sharing here the love and sharing here your wonderful tribe.
That's great.
You just been a wonderful friend. I'm speechless because you're already helping me here to talk to people and let me share my love, my energy, my strategy. So you already helped me a lot. So thank you very much. Same here. How can I help you? I'm here for you. Just let me know.
Let's collaborate on it, whatever, but let's just, whatever. We just keep helping people.
Exactly.
And the last thing we have is the last thing I do on every broadcast. And I know the main reason you wanted to share, come on the broadcast, but you wanted to get right. So we've got your hat coming out, and granted, it's the old colors.
Thank you.
But we've got the hat coming out to you. It's going to be in the mail to you in this week.
Thank you. And if you guys know me, I'm always have some kind of hat on. I love hats. So thank you so much, Dave. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, Vanda. Stay on for a little while. Hey, look, guys. Next week we've got Mile High Property Brothers come on. Eli Schmidt and Will Grimes. They're going to be on next week. I can't wait to have them on. There's going to be so exciting. If you've never seen them, check them out. And remember, Vanda's information is right here. Going to stay on the screen as we go out. Vanda, stay here. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great, great weekend.
Thank you.